Christ is risen. I heard an earthquake right now, right there. As soon as I said I heard an earthquake. Was that an earthquake coming from your room? I said, Christ is risen. I want to hear, truly he is risen from every one of your houses. I don't care if you live in a place by yourself. I don't care if your neighbors call you crazy. Tell them that your priest made you say it. I want to say, Christ is risen. There it is. I heard it all the way over here, wherever it was. Truly, he's risen, and nothing's going to make us stop praising him today and stop rejoicing today. Just like Bishop Peter said, okay, in his beautiful letter. Our attitude, he gave a great example of Paul and Silas when they were in prison and how they chose to focus on what was good, not what was bad. And what you see is the disciples in particular, before the resurrection of Christ, were always focused on what was here and what was now and what they had in front of them. And oh Lord, where are we going to get food to eat? And oh Lord, you can't say that or else the bad guys are going to get upset at us. And oh, please don't go to that city because they may kill you. They're always focused on here and focused on now. Why does he not care that we are perishing? And then the waves, and then the wind, and then the bread. And they were always focused on here and now. But after the resurrection of Christ, man, that changes everything. And that changed their focus. And that changes our focus too. Our eyes are no more down. Our eyes don't see no more death. Our eyes don't see no more pain. Our eyes don't see any of that stuff. Our eyes are lifted up because the King of Kings, the Lord of Lords, the King of Glory is risen from the dead. And what is greater than that? And what is more powerful than that? And what can overcome that? If the grave, which was the final enemy, like St. Athanasius said, the grave was the final enemy, the one that could not be defeated, has been defeated this night. What's the enemy have over us? A little virus to make us stay in our home, make us spend time with our families, make us spend time resting, make us grow our hair back, okay, make us save the ozone and all that stuff. That little thing's going to take away our joy. It's going to take away our power because we're not in the church. Come on now. Never be the people of God. People of God, their joy comes from inside, not from outside. And that has to be us. That's why I was so happy. This year's Holy Week. I don't know. I'm going to blame it on Abuna Timothy, okay? He said it, okay? I've been telling you this. Abuna Timothy, the first week of Lent, said, I have a feeling it's going to be a special Lent. And back then, we didn't know anything about no coronavirus. We just heard something coming from, from China or something like that. We just thought it was something funny. Okay, and here we are right now in lockdown, scared to go get our mail. Okay, the delivery man just ring the doorbell and run away. Okay, we didn't know what was going to happen. We didn't know how the world was going to turn out. But Abuna Timothy says it's going to be a special Lent. And it was. One will never forget. 2020 is the most unique year in my lifetime, probably anyone's lifetime, at least thus far, unless you really, lifetime is big, okay? But it's been a very, very unique year. And we've been saying from the very beginning that this year's Holy Week can be just as powerful, if not more. And I can't tell you the number of people who emailed me, and I'm sorry I didn't respond to everybody, the number of people who emailed me and texted me and said this year's Holy Week was the best. And you know who else would say that? I would say that. Okay, one of the advantages, I didn't have to travel. I just rolled out of bed, came in my living room, and that made it very, very much smoother for me. But even beyond that, it was something so special and so powerful. You know why? Because our attitude was we will touch the presence of Christ. We will have the presence of Christ. If we're in church, it's great. If we're not in church, it's going to be great. And I'm telling you, it's our attitude that makes all the difference. For so long, okay, one of the best things is going to come out of this thing. For so long, we were like people who were given fish to eat. And we learned during this Holy Week to be fishers. We learned not to be people who have to be spoon-fed everything. We learned to be people. That's like the disciples in the story that Bishop Peter talked about right here. Before that, Jesus had to tell them, lift your eyes up. Don't worry about this stuff. Why you focus on earthly stuff? Man cannot live by bread alone. Like he had to teach them all that stuff. After the resurrection, that's it. They learned the lesson. They're the ones telling others. Why are you guys miserable in the prison? Lift up your hands. Lift up your voices. They were the ones because they learned the lesson. And I hope and I pray that we learn that same lesson too. And I know we did. I know there wasn't anybody who went into this Holy Week with a positive can-do attitude that didn't see it was the most special one ever. I know people who had never been able to attend all the services start to finish, attended every single one. I know people said, I never sang any of these hymns. I sang every single one of these hymns. I know some people out there who said, I never learned the psalm. But you know what? Someone told me they would turn down us singing the psalm and go their own tune, okay? And I don't know how they caught up, or I don't know. Hey, that's great, and that's how they're learning, okay? And some people gave me some recordings. One person who knows out there gave me his own version of the psalm, and hey, it's a start, okay? We got one more year to get through the rest of it, because you can't do that stuff in church, okay? The stuff we're doing in our homes. But my point is to say is it's our attitude. Okay, because like Bishop Peter said, he said it so beautiful right here. He said, he is the King of glory. He's the incarnate Son of God, and nothing stops that. Christians throughout history, they've been persecuted. Persecution doesn't stop the resurrection, doesn't stop them from celebrating the King of glory. They've been in jails. And that didn't stop them from celebrating the King of Glory and his resurrection. They've been in monks in the wilderness, out in the way, in a cave with nothing. They didn't stop them from anything. Okay, that's not going to stop us. We will find new ways to reach our Savior, okay, and to celebrate him. And that's my prayer for you guys tonight, okay? I wish we could all be here together, okay, but believe me, and I don't just say this, okay, I know this makes me sound like really like one of those old priests, okay, and I don't consider myself old, but I'll be old for a night, that's okay. Y'all are in my heart, okay? See, I said the word y'all to make it not as old sounding, okay, because what a more spiritual priest would have said, my beloved, you are in my heart, but I'll say it more my way, okay? Believe me, you guys are in my heart. And there isn't a day that goes by that I don't think about many people, and God puts people in my heads, okay, and I put them up in prayer, and I know there's certain people who are struggling. I know people who've been sick, okay, and overcame the sickness. I know some who are still going through it, okay. Believe me, you guys are all, like Bishop Peter said, you're in his prayers, okay, thank him for that, okay. You're in my heart and in my prayers, and more importantly, we're all in the hands of God. Believe me, there's no better place to be, okay. So wherever you are, if you are in